Exactly right. Sending our prayers to the Patriots player who was injured last night. Definitely a scary situation. I'm glad that the Patriots and Packers were smart enough to suspend the rest of that game. We will rant about a few things going on in the world of sports. If you want our sports picks, make sure you share the channel. But that said, major news right now that I just saw on my Twitter feed or X feed, whatever we're calling it these days. It sounds like Apple is starting to make its move in trying to acquire ESPN. You heard it here, maybe first for some of you. Others, maybe you're like me and you've heard it elsewhere. Apple is making a very serious push to acquire ESPN. They want the live sports rights. So it sounds like Disney, who has been shopping ESPN, the thought of spinning it off, the idea of having someone acquire it, maybe private equity get involved. It sounds like of all opposing companies or all acquiring companies, Apple is the one that has emerged as the front runner. So if you guys love ESPN, be expecting some major changes because Apple putting some money into ESPN. Think about what Apple did for YouTube, forcing YouTube albums onto your Apple Music. Imagine what they're going to do with ESPN, forcing you to watch Slam Ball at all hours on your iPhone. Imagine what they're... Oh, and should I trade Jacobs and Ayuk for Pollard? I think it's an interesting idea. I personally don't like it. I think Jacobs provides just enough value and Ayuk enough value to offset the two. If you want someone that you can just lock into the position, I get Pollard. But personally, I like the two rather than the one. Stephen Pock, hope you're having a great day. Appreciate you supporting the show. Welcome to Butt Fumble Sports. Make sure you guys are hitting that follow button. That way you know every time Butt Fumble Sports is live. No, this isn't our normal setup. We're usually giving out sports bets on the screen, but instead, we're just going to be on the phone today because I'm having some connection issues. Should I trade Ramondre Stevenson for Jahmyr Gibbs? Very interesting idea. I actually don't hate on it. The only issue I have is I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to hit a rookie wall late November, early December, where I think Ramondre Stevenson, he's going to play the full season. He's just not going to get the same number of touchdowns with Zeke Elliott involved. Bro, we're going to have Mickey and Goofy commenting on games. No, we could have already had that. Disney's owned ESPN for a long time when Capital Cities bought ESPN many years ago. Speaking of some things in the world of sports I wanted to hit on just to rant really quickly. Did you guys see the Sean O'Malley fight last night in Boston, UFC 292? We had our UFC expert, Mr. Octagon, come on. We both said we wanted to see Sean O'Malley win. Weren't sure we could actually cash on that. Ended up doing just that, so a very fun night of fights. There is NFL preseason going on. We have heard that Aaron Rodgers will make his NFL Jets debut in week 3 of the preseason. So, something to talk about. And of course, college football starts this week, guys. So if you want to get your bets in on college football, make sure you hit us up. But the reason Butt Fumble Sports is live is we want to help you guys out with your sports picks, your plays, everything you guys need. So share the channel. Every time you guys share the channel, we're going to give out a pick. You guys know how it works, so share that channel, everybody. Share the channel. We're going to give out a bunch of sports picks. Haven't seen any shares yet, so the first person to share the channel, we're going to give out some of our favorite plays of the day. Do not fret. We're giving out our favorite bets of the day. Make sure you're hitting that share button. Appreciate the share right there. Just got one, so let's get to work, everybody. We've got a lot of picks to give out, and I want to make sure over the course of the show, you guys get every single pick that we have to offer, because you guys know Butt Fumble Sports isn't about holding things back. We want you guys to have as many picks as we can possibly give you and cash on as many tickets as you possibly can. Let me scoot on down. By the way, our NASCAR expert did give out his picks this week, and our NASCAR expert is fire, so make sure you guys check his plays out. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple plays to get you guys started. First one that I really like, in the Mariners-Astros game, I like the Mariners to cover. Mariners to cover plus 1.5. I really like that game, so keep your eye on that one. Mariners plus 1.5. I would definitely take that one. A first one for you there. Another play that I like, Braves on the money line. Braves first 5 on the money line. So 3 picks that I've given out right away. Mariners plus 1.5. Braves on the money line. Braves first 5 on the money line. We'll continue to give out more. Just share the channel. All you have to do is share the channel. That's it. All you got to do is share the channel. Wish me luck today. Draft day as a new owner in a league. Deadpool, wishing you well. If you need any advice, you've come to the right place. Deadpool, feel free to ask your questions before you get ready for your draft. So excited that we've entered fantasy football draft real season, not just mock draft season, but the real time you're getting together with your friends, at this point your rivals, and putting together your fantasy football teams for the rest of 2023. Isn't it a beautiful time of year? Like, to me, this is like the selection Sunday portion of the fantasy football season, and I absolutely love it. Again, if you guys want more of our picks, we've given out 3 already. Mariners plus 1.5, Braves on the money line, Braves first 5 on the money line. We'll give out more. All you have to do is share the channel. That's it. I think I got a draft sometime this year. Egg, sorry about it. By the way, I love school, so maybe I'm that kind of nerd, but I love school, so I didn't have a problem with it. Want to give a shout out to Top Dog. Appreciate you joining this morning. Dante, I know we're in a bit of a different setup, but make sure that you guys hit us up with your questions, comments, no matter what platform you're watching on. We're not just on TikTok. We're on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. So appreciate that share by Candyman. Let's give out some more picks. Next pick that I'm going to give out is Giants Braves under 9.5. So we've given out 4 picks so far. Mariners plus 1.5, Braves on the money line, Braves first 5 on the money line, and Giants and Braves under 9.5. So there are 4 plays for you guys right there. Keep sharing the channel. That's all you have to do for me to continue to give out picks. I'll give out another one because you guys are being awesome. This one, I'm going to give out, let me give out 5. I'm going to give out 5 player prop bets for the next share. How about that? Next share of a channel, I'll give out 5 player prop bets. Hank, we're giving out picks right now. You can go to our website, buttfumblesports.com, and you can check out some of them, or you can share the channel just like Candyman and Jorge just did. Here are 5 player prop bets I like. I like Ty France for over half a hit. I like Julio Rodriguez over 1.5 bases. I like Travis d'Arnaud over half a hit. I like Michael Harris II over half a hit. And I like Eddie Rosario over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Let me repeat those 5 player prop bets for you right now. Ty France over half a hit. Julio Rodriguez over 1.5 bases. Travis d'Arnaud over half a hit. Michael Harris II over half a hit. And Eddie Rosario over 1.5 hits, runs, and total bases. So, those are some player prop bets for you. If you guys share the channel right now, we're going to give out home run plays. I will give out 2 players I like to hit a home run today for the next share of the channel. The sucky part is 11 owners get 2 keepers. Deadpool, don't sweat it. People who think keepers matter, they only do for a short period of time. Deadpool shared the channel. We have 2 home run picks to give out now. 2 home run picks for you. Next one that we're going to go for, Luis Robert Jr. Luis Robert Jr. to hit a home run today. Really love this play. You could take him on over 1.5 hits, runs as well. It's probably set at 2.5, so maybe 1.5 bases is the better play. But Luis Robert Jr. to go deep today, really, really, really like that one. If I could say really more times, I would, but you get the point. Next one, Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber, it's the night game. It's the Phillies, Nationals. It's in Pennsylvania for the Little League World Series. You know, major league players come to the Little League World Series game. There are going to be some bombs in that game. There will be some home runs in that one. Kyle Schwarber, I'm looking at you from the great Indiana University. So the 2 home run picks that I just gave out, Luis Robert Jr., Kyle Schwarber. Deadpool, do you have a recommendation on a mock draft program that's very customizable? I've been using Sleeper. I think Sleeper is really good. We're not endorsed by any mock draft program or company or brand, but we've been using Sleeper because actually the audience recommended it. I have to give credit to you guys out there, members of the Butt Fumble Sports community. I think it was IP Shade 45, if I'm not mistaken. He was like, hey, you guys should do mock drafts. You can get other people involved. I really like the fact that I can do that with you guys on a regular basis. If you want to see some of our past mock drafts, you can go to our YouTube channel, Fumble Sports on YouTube, and check out some of our previous mock drafts. Hank, Mariners plus 1.5. Yep, that is one of the plays that I do like. Yep. Deadpool just shared the channel. So you know what we're going to give out now? We're going to give out 2 players. Frank, swap that. I'm going to give out 3 players. 3 players that I think are going to get a stolen base. Okay? Next 3 players I like to get a stolen base. Brenton Doyle of the Colorado Rockies. Okay? Brenton Doyle, Travis Jankowski, and Marcus Semien. 3 players I like to get a stolen base. That's Brenton Doyle, Travis Jankowski, and Marcus Semien. 3 players for a stolen base. Elliot Robinson asks, I took the Braves first 5 and the Mariners plus 1.5. Like those plays. Egg, I don't think we're going to do the mock draft today because my internet is being a slut and is just not working for me. By the way, that's a bad way of saying that because sluts work hard. I shouldn't say that. My internet is being prude. My internet is being awful. My internet's being a prude and isn't working with me. So unfortunately, no mock draft today. That's why I'm on the phone. I know we're on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. I certainly appreciate you guys still being with us. Top Dog, we can still do our research, so no problem there. If you guys have questions, if you need help with your fantasy plays, your sports bets, just hit us up. We can do our research. So he is asking about Eduardo Rodriguez on over 17.5 total outs. Looking at Outlier, which is a tool that we use to do our sports betting research every day, Eduardo Rodriguez over 17.5 outs is a really good play. 65% implied probability. It's cashed in 3 of the last 5, but his matchup with the Guardians, he's got good numbers. So I would say, Top Dog, Eduardo Rodriguez over 17.5 outs is a really strong play. Are we going back to a normal schedule on here for shows? Yes, we are. Here's what the normal schedule is. It's going to be 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time during the weekdays. It's going to be 12 p.m. on the weekends. We'll actually probably go even earlier on the weekends because now we have college football. So it'll probably be like 11 a.m. on weekends and 5 p.m. on weekdays. If you guys want more picks, you guys know what to do. Just share the channel. That's all you got to do. Hit that share button, and that way others can learn about Fumble Sports. And that's where we're going to give out more picks. So all you got to do is hit that share button. We're not asking for gifts. I'm not going to do any crazy like, yum. You guys already know I'm not about that nonsense. We're just here to give out a lot of sports picks, talk sports. Yes, Apple may be getting into the ESPN business, might be acquiring ESPN from Disney, or at least become a major investor. That is some major breaking news that we gave out earlier in the show. But when it comes to the sports field, we've got a lot going on. We do have WNBA picks. We have MLB picks as well. All you got to do is share the channel. Once you guys share the channel, we'll give out more picks. Top Dog was also asking about Clark Schmidt, who's pitching up against the Boston Red Sox today. Deadpool, yes, you can. If I list the keepers in my league, could you suggest my first 2 picks? Absolutely. We're here to help you out with your league in every way possible. Clark Schmidt, under 16.5 outs, Top Dog. That's a good play as well. Top Dog, you've sniffed out 2 really good plays. Top Dog's watching on YouTube. We're streaming right now on TikTok Live, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick to help you guys out with your Sunday sports betting and fantasy action. If you guys do have a fantasy football draft today, we're here to help you guys out as well. If you have questions, who to draft, which round to take certain positions or players, we're here for all of it. Best time of the year is coming up. College football, NFL, fantasy, a little bit of MLB. MLB playoffs. It's Candyman. It's not just the MLB. It's the postseason run. It's the best part of baseball. And the WNBA playoffs as well. Couldn't agree more. Hockey and the NBA are right around the corner as well. So if you like at least some of the drama around things like James Harden, that's fun as well. Would you take Luis Robert Jr. over 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs? Me personally, yes, I would. Would I advise you to make that bet? Less so, Jorge. Is 1.5 bases available? I love the 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs personally. I am going to put money down on that. But if 1.5 bases is available, I believe that's the safest play for you guys. So that's what I would encourage the most. But do I think he's going to get a home run and at least an RBI? You know, by the way, he hits a home run, it cashes. So 1.5 bases is available. Take that. I like both plays. I take 1.5 bases. I would take 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I'd take it all. I love Luis Robert today. He's one of my favorite players of the day. Appreciate you guys being with us. All you got to do to share to get our picks is to share the channel. You don't have to give out gifts. You don't have to pay money. You don't have to do any of that garbage. What do I think about Braves and Giants? You're asking about the over in that game. The answer is I'm not as crazy about that one as I would be in other situations. Let me look at my notes. Yeah, I'm going with the under 9.5 runs actually on that one. I know you're asking about the over 7.5, but I guess what I'm saying is if I'm more confident about the under overall, why would I try to split the difference on that game? I think it's a little tight. I'd rather just be on the side of the under. By the way, go Tigers, go Saints, Candyman coming down south. Hope you're excited about LSU, Florida State in 1 week. In 1 week from today, I believe Florida State, LSU on TV. Let's go. Best college football game of week 1 or week 0, whatever they're calling this upcoming week. Or is that in 2 weeks? That might be in 2 weeks, actually. I might be a little bit too excited already. That said, Candyman is sharing the channel. I think it's next week. Candyman sharing the channel, so let's give out some more picks. You guys ready? I'm going to give out 4 more picks because Candyman just shared the channel. Yes, Candyman, I think I'm right. Good. Let's get ready. You guys ready? 4 more picks for you guys. Next one, Red Sox plus 1.5. Red Sox plus 1.5. Tigers, Guardians over 6.5. So Red Sox plus 1.5. Tigers, Guardians over 6.5. I also like the Reds to cover plus 1.5. I like the Blue Jays and Reds, yes to a run in the first inning. And one more for you. I'll take the over in that Blue Jays-Reds game, over 8 runs. So let me repeat the 5 picks I just gave out. I just gave you 5 MLB game picks. I want to make sure you guys heard all of them, and that way you don't miss them. Red Sox plus 1.5. So the Red Sox to cover. The Red Sox will lose by 1 run or less. Tigers, Guardians, over 6.5 runs. Combined, those 2 teams will score 7 or more runs. That's Tigers, Guardians, over 6.5. I think the Reds cover plus 1.5. That's plus 1.5 for Cincinnati on the run line. I think the Blue Jays and Reds, there will be a run in the first inning. From either team, there will be a run in the first inning. And the Blue Jays and Reds over 8.5. Blue Jays, Reds over 8.5. Thank you, Elliot. Cooking now. Cal, what's up, man? Cardinals minus half a run in the first 5. Let me check my notes on that one. It wasn't a bet that it immediately excited me, so let me check on it really quick. Cal, let's look at if my internet's not being a slut, which it's being right now. So let me jump over. I got to go to my other internet. Sorry. Okay. My internet right now is just absolutely brutal. By the way, Deadpool, do not worry. Don't fret, Deadpool. We will get to your fantasy football team in a moment. But I'm getting a question about the Cardinals' first 5 on the run line. So I want to do I just want to look at my notes on that. Looking at that one, the answer is yes. I do like the Cardinals to cover. Yes, Cal, that's a good find by you. Cal, 12-8-3-1. That's a great find by you. I think that's a good play. Fred, thanks so much for following the channel. Really appreciate that. Welcome to Butt Fumble Sports community. Fred asks, Toronto on the money line. Toronto on the money line. Looking at my other note sheet here. Okay, so I like the Reds to cover plus 1.5 more than the Blue Jays on the money line. So, Fred, that's kind of where my head's at. I can actually see the Blue Jays, I can see the Reds winning more than I could see the Blue Jays winning. So I'd actually take the Reds to cover. I'm not crazy about either game. Like, personally, I think the winner is kind of a coin flip. But when it comes to the run line, I really like the Reds. So I understand if you want to take the Blue Jays. They do have frankly, I like the Reds in this game. I think the Reds could even win outright. So, Fred, I wouldn't go in that direction. If you guys want to get more of my picks, you guys just need to hit that share button. I will give out 5 more player prop bets. 5 more player prop bets for whoever shares the channel. Fred, I don't like... Looking at that game, Fred, I like the over 8.5 in that game. So, Fred, we're kind of seeing different sides of that Blue Jays-Reds game. I think the Reds are going to cover. I could see the Reds actually win that game, though I'm not going to bet on it. And I like the over in that game. So, we're seeing it differently. Top Dog is asking about Carlos Santana over half a strikeout. Yes, yes, yes. Carlos Santana has terrible numbers against the pitcher he's facing today. So, Carlos Santana over half a strikeout. Really like that one. Really quick, Deadpool is asking, so players that have already been taken, McCaffrey, Kelsey, Waddle, Mahomes, Hall, Andrews, Eckler. So I'm not seeing Saquon Barkley here, Deadpool. I'm not seeing Saquon Barkley being taken. I'm not seeing Nick Chubb. So there are a couple of running backs. I know it's head-to-head in a PPR league, but get yourself a good RB1. That would be, since you're coming into a dynasty league and there are already some players that have been taken, I think the most important thing for you is just get a solid running back for this year, build from there. Cal agrees with me. Reem, you are asking about Astros on the money line. Much like that Blue Jays-Reds game, I like the underdog to cover. So even though I could see the favorite winning, I'm not going to make that bet, because if I have belief in the underdog, I'm going to stay with it. I'd rather be on the run line with the underdog than bet the favorite on the money line. Let's continue to give out some player prop bets. Because you guys just shared the channel, we're going to give out 5 player prop bets right now. Are you guys ready to go? Make sure you're paying attention. Aaron Judge over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I could see Aaron Judge going yard for a 3rd straight game against Nick Pivetta. He has a good history. Pivetta is not the starter, but Pivetta is going to come in. The Red Sox have an opener, and then Pivetta will come in. Pivetta has been outstanding out of the bullpen in that kind of situation, but Aaron Judge hits him well. I'm not going to sweat it. Aaron Judge over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Giancarlo Stanton, same thing. Over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I think the Yankees are going to put up a couple runs in this one off of Pivetta. So Judge and Stanton, both over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Let me give out 4 more plays for you. 4 more plays from that game. I like Tristan Casas, over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. He was out yesterday. They said it was a dental emergency or a dental issue. If he's in the lineup today, he's been red hot. He's actually been one of the hottest hitters since the start of July in baseball overall. So Tristan Casas over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Jarren Duran, same thing. Over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I would also take Alex Verdugo. You're noticing a theme? Left-handed hitting against Clark Schmidt. I'm not sure about Masataka Yoshida, though I could see him having the same kind of game. But Casas, Duran, Verdugo, they all have good numbers against Clark Schmidt. They have experience against him also in the minor leagues in the case of Duran and Casas. So Duran, Casas, Verdugo, all 3 of them over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I would also take Adam Duvall over half a hit. Elliot Robinson's got a question for us. Elliot Robinson is asking about the Chicago Cubs. I'm not going with the Cubs today. You know where I'm going, believe it or not? I'm taking the Royals plus 2.5. That's right. I know it's a Jordan Lyles day. I know Jordan Lyles has been one of the best fade betting opportunities in Major League Baseball in 2023. However, the Royals have been a hot team over the last couple of weeks. Jordan Lyles has actually pitched better in terms of covering the spread. I don't want to say he's pitched better in terms of his ERA, but the Royals have done a better job in his starts of late. I like the Royals plus 2.5 in that game at Wrigley. And again, plus 2.5 is under minus 200. I think it's going off at like minus 190, so still a good bet. Four down, 1 up. It is a lot of juice, but minus 190, I actually don't mind it. Take Royals plus 2.5. Add it as a leg of a parlay into some other plays. You could take the Rangers on the money line. with Max Scherzer. Parlay that with Royals plus 2.5. Parlay that with an over. Parlay that with the Braves on the money line. Parlay those three plays together. That's a 3-leg parlay. It's pretty safe. I really like that one. Speaking of that game, I'll give out another pick for that game. So I like the Royals plus 2.5. I also like the Royals and Cubs over 8.5. So Royals to cover plus 2.5. Royals and Cubs over 8.5 runs. By the way, if you guys want more of my picks, all you got to do is share the channel. I'm not asking for money. You don't have to donate anything. You don't have to go behind some paywall. None of that stuff. If you want all of my picks, you can go to my website, buttfumblesports.com. And guess what? The picks are free because it's sports betting, everybody. All of these other jabronis that you see on TikTok Live, they're giving out picks that put them behind a paywall. We do the same research. I'm going to the same websites. I've worked in sports media for over 15 years as a producer at ESPN, Fox Sports, CBS Sports, Jim Rome, and elsewhere. I know how to put together research. I had a 4-hour show on CBS Sports HQ as producer. I've done this. Don't worry. These picks, they're free. Why? Because you're a sports fan. All we want you guys to do is support the show any way you can. MVP Metcalf, great to see you. Welcome back to fantasy football season. Elliott Robinson is plus 1.5. Safe bet for the Royals. I'd take it. Plus 2.5 is obviously safer, but I would take it. Why don't you just put your picks up then? A lot easier. Mikey P, they are up. They're on our website, buttfumblesports.com. All of my picks are up right now. All of them. buttfumblesports.com. Normally they would be on the screen, but I'm having a connection issue with Live Studio, so I decided I didn't want to miss my show, so I decided to come on the phone and just do it that way, old school style. For those who used to watch Butt Fumble Sports last fall, we're not in our normal kind of studio setup. Don't matter. We're giving out picks. So if you want every single pick that I have today for free, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. You don't need to subscribe. You don't need to pay. Sure, would I like you to buy a t-shirt? Of course. Would I like you to sign up for our free newsletter? Of course. But I'm not asking you to. You can go. You can look at the picks. You can follow. You can fade. The picks are free. They're free. Because all these other jabronis on TikTok Live who are telling you, I'm going to only give out 5 picks, and then you got to pay for them. Nonsense. They go to the same websites I do. They look at the same stats I do. I'll give them out for free because you, the fans, deserve that. You're just sports fans. All you want to do is watch some sports, maybe throw some money down on it, build a fantasy lineup, and have some fun. You should be able to do that for free. Democratize sports consumption. That's what we're going for here. Now, that said, there is one thing I'm going to ask you guys to do. Share the channel. Let other people know about Butt Fumble Sports. Whether it's a friend, a family member, a sports fan in your group chat that's like, hey, I bet he would really like hearing these picks. Or I bet he loves talking sports. He'd get a kick out of buttfumblesports.com. We put out content every day on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Kick, Instagram, Twitter. We're all over the place. So if you guys just share the channel, we'll give out more picks. We'll let you guys know. Elliott Robinson, he knows. Giving out these free plays. Elliott, if you share the channel right now, I will give out more home run picks. I've got all these home run picks. Again, you can find them on our website. I'm just going to say them. Jorge shared it. Let's give out more home run picks. Here are 3 more home run picks today. You guys ready? Aaron Judge. You guys already know I like him today against Pavetta. Matt McClain of the Cincinnati Reds. And Cal Raleigh. So my 5 home run picks I've given out so far are Luis Robert Jr., Kyle Schwarber, Aaron Judge, Matt McClain, and Cal Raleigh. I have 3 more to give out. But I've given out those 5 so far. MVP Metcalf, I have a $500 league this year, and the draft is today. MVP Metcalf, we salute you. Make sure that you focus in. Hope you've been watching our mock drafts that we put on YouTube. We've gone through a lot of different drafting scenarios. 8-team leagues, 10-team leagues, 12-team leagues, 14-team leagues. We've done PPR, half PPR, no PPR. We've done snake drafts. We've done auction drafts. So if you want to find out how to draft, how to make the most out of your draft, no matter what kind of structure it is, format it is. Make sure you go to Butt Fumble Sports on YouTube. Check out some of those videos that we've done. You can learn a lot. Reem, Orioles on the money line? Yes, I do. Orioles on the money line is a bet that I do like today. Kyle Bradish on the mound in that one. I like the Orioles on the money line. Additionally, I like the over in that game. Orioles, A's, I take over 7. I take over 7.5. Both of those bets. That's over 7 and over 7.5 in Orioles and A's. Getting a question in from YouTube. Deadpool, should I pick up another running back in round 2 or go for a wide receiver? Deadpool, you got to go for a wide receiver because you're in a PPR league. I like the running back in round 1 because I love the RB1 position. I think it's so valuable, especially in a dynasty league where you're the newcomer, so you're not going to get one of those top players. Get a Saquon Barkley, get a Nick Chubb because you said they were available. Lock in that RB1 position. Then go to a wide receiver because it's PPR. That's what you should do, Deadpool. Top Dog, what excludes you then from you do your research so we can see? Top Dog, I can do my research live. If that's what you guys want me to do every day, I don't need to do my research before the show. I could do the research as the show. I'm more than happy to do that. If that's what you guys want, Top Dog, let us know. More than happy to do it. Deadpool, okay, I go Nick Chubb or Bijan Robinson in round 1. Absolutely, that's the way to go. And then round 2, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Love it. Deadpool, that's exactly right. Okay, the real Caleb Bradley, it's Jahmyr Gibbs. Believe it or not, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be put into that Lions offense. Outstanding offensive line. How they use him, we already know with DeAndre Swift. I love what I'm going to see from him in the first, let's say, 8 to 12 weeks of the season. Then I think you're going to have some drop-off. Unless Dan Campbell kind of protects his touches midway through the year, I do think, like so many other running backs, Gibbs will hit that rookie wall come early December, which could be around your playoff time. However, do I really like Joe Mixon this year? Not really. I think Joe Mixon is kind of a season back. He's a smart player, but is the high production ahead of him? Not really. I think it's in the rearview mirror. So real Caleb Bradley, I go with Gibbs. Phillies on the money line. The answer is yes. I do like the Phillies on the money line today. Phillies on the money line and Phillies Nationals over 7.5. Again, that is in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. That is for the Little League World Series. You know, Major League Baseball comes to Little League World Series game. Phillies on the money line. Phillies Nationals over 7.5. Okay, Candyman's giving out some WNBA picks. I have some WNBA picks for you guys as well. Candyman just dropped his WNBA picks. You like the Storm plus 5.5. I like that one as well, but I'm not betting it. The one I do like is like you. I like the over in that game. I bought the alternative line, and I took over Storm and Lynx over 155.5. Real Caleb Bradley, really appreciate it. Hope you're following us. To all of those that are watching, I'm not asking for a single dime of your money. Just share the channel, let others know about Butt Fumble Sports, and make sure you follow us. Other than that, I'm going to give away my heart. I'm going to give away my picks. I'll give away my rants because you guys are the kind of sports fans that I've been working for my entire life. At Fox, ESPN, CBS Sports, and elsewhere, I just love talking sports, and you guys do as well, so that's why we're here. Oh, Top Dog. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do from now on, Top Dog. Top Dog is watching on YouTube, and Top Dog's saying, hey, if you give out your picks for free on your website, buttfumblesports.com, which if you hit the link in our bio, you can go to, you can see all of our picks for free. No paywall, no nonsense. But it means, Top Dog, yes, we're going to devote more time to helping you guys out on who to start in fantasy each week, on who to bet on in NFL, MLB, WNBA, on college football. We are going to do more research for you. So in the weeks to come, months to come, during the summer when it was just baseball, it was me giving out my picks, and that consumed a lot of the show. Now we want to make you guys the focus. We want this to be a viewer-driven show every day. Your questions, your comments, if you guys want to riff with me, all about it. If you guys want to join the show and we do a split screen for those that are competent enough to do it, we would absolutely love that as well. So over the next few months of Butt Fumble Sports' live shows, we are going to do more for you guys, and we're just going to give away our picks because do we think we do good research? Yes, we hit it about a 65 to 68% clip. But you guys care about the games and picks that you guys are focused on. So I should do the work for you guys. You guys shouldn't just follow me all the time. Okay, Candyman also had Mystics and a Mystics game. So I like here are the picks I have. Let me give out my WNBA picks right now. Again, they're up on my website, buttfumblesports.com. You can see all of our picks for free. They're up there. But I'll say them for you now if you just want to keep watching the show. I like the Wings to cover, but I took an alternative line. I like Wings -1.5 and Wings -2.5. I like the Sun to cover -2.5. I like the Sun and Sky going under 165.5. I've got the Mercury +6.5, and I've got the Storm and the Lynx going over 155.5. Mariners-Astros game, I'm not leaning towards a total play in that one. That one I'm not crazy about. Not a game that I particularly like in that one. If I had to lean in one direction, I'd probably take the over, like buy it down, like go to 7.5 alternative line and buy the over. But Jake, I'm really not crazy about the over in that game. I do like the Mariners to cover +1.5. Candyman got a $50 buy-in league in 5 minutes. Candyman, let's go. If you've got questions, we're here to help you out. Doghouse breaks 2. I don't like the Mariners on the money line. I like them to cover. Mariners +1.5. Boxer Buddy 7, appreciate you following. If you guys have questions, comments, if you need help with your DFS lineup, if you need help with your fantasy football draft, if you want help with your sports bets, Butt Fumble Sports is here to help you guys out. We give out all of our picks for free. They're up on our website, buttfumblesports.com right now. But if you want me to say them, just share the channel. Feel free to share the channel. Here to help you guys out. Boxer Buddy 7, that's what we're here for. We're here to help you guys out with data, information. That's why we're here. Couple games to keep your eye on the over. White Sox and Rockies, Blue Jays and Reds, Phillies and Nationals, Tigers and Guardians. Those are 4 games where I'd really think of the over. Candyman, what are my thoughts on the Jimmy Graham situation? Very sad. However, it does make me think one thing. There's a situation, you may be seeing it on social media, where the Dodgers had a former outfielder, I forget his name in the moment, I'll remember it in a bit, who they had cut years ago. But someone found that he was homeless and was suffering from mental illness. And actually the Dodgers actually signed him back to the organization, not to play baseball again, but to get him help, get him the resources that he needs. I'm not saying that's why the Saints signed Jimmy Graham. I'm sure they wanted him for football reasons. But maybe, just maybe, signing with the New Orleans Saints was the best thing that could possibly happen to Jimmy Graham, because now he has a community around him. One of the great fears that we have, whether you're a soldier, whether you're an athlete, whenever you're surrounded by a group of people, a community for a long time, and then that community goes away, you're no longer in the military, you're no longer part of a team or an organization as an athlete, there's a challenge there. There's an emptiness. There's no one there to help you with your mental illness if there is mental illness there. So I'm just happy that Jimmy Graham has a community, a support system around him. Whether he plays one snap of football again, I don't care. He was out of the league before. For all purposes, he may as well have been retired. Jimmy Graham clearly is going through something, because the situation that we heard of the other day is disturbing. It's unfortunate, and I hope he's getting help. And New Orleans Saints, football may be Andrew Tolles. Thank you so much, Tyler. That's exactly right. So for me, I just hope that Jimmy Graham is getting the support that he needs. That's all that matters. I'm sure that the Saints can find a tight end in 50 other places. Jimmy Graham getting help, that's what matters. Appreciate all of you guys joining us today. Make sure you guys are hitting that follow button. Make sure you guys are following Butt Fumble Sports. That way you know when we're live every single day, because we will be live every day. Now that I know that you guys like this kind of experience, we're going to come on live all the time. Deadpool, to answer your question on YouTube about how to answer your draft, I love Bijan Robinson in the PPR. So between Chubb and Bijan, because of the PPR factor, I would lean just slightly towards Bijan, just slightly, but only because the PPR. Otherwise, I actually like Chubb for his stability and sustainability over the course of a season. I'll warn all you guys, I love Bijan Robinson. I really like Jahmyr Gibbs, but rookie running backs do hit a wall. Dameon Pierce last year, Kenneth Walker III, perfect examples. Sooner or later, the college football season ends in terms of number of games you've been accustomed to playing. That football season extends. Come around week 13, 14, 15, rookie running backs hit that wall. That's also the same time we start to get into our playoff push and then the playoff season in fantasy. So just be mindful of that. Alex, do I have Justin Jefferson as my number one overall pick? To me, it depends if you're in a PPR league. If you're in a PPR league, absolutely. If you're not in a PPR league, I personally would seriously consider Austin Eckler. I think Austin Eckler is actually going to end up being the best fantasy football player this year. I think he's going to score you the most fantasy points. What do the projections have? What are the fantasy football experts on CBS and ESPN saying? They're probably saying Christian McCaffrey. They're probably saying Justin Jefferson. But how often does the guy who's projected number one actually produce number one points? I think Austin Eckler, he's in a contract year. The offensive line of the Chargers is healthier. And when it was healthy, it was very good. When Slater's healthy on that offensive line, Chargers can run the ball. They have so many weapons in the passing game that you forget about Eckler, but they run the ball a good percentage. He's just not facing 8 guys in the box. He is in a PPR league, he gets plenty of touches. So personally, I love Austin Eckler. He's probably the one I would take first overall, but I understand if you took Jefferson or if you took Christian McCaffrey. I would not take Jamar Chase first overall. That is a different story. Second pick in a 10-man PPR league, who would I take? Austin Eckler. Like I just said, Justin Jefferson should go number 1. Austin Eckler should go number 2. McCaffrey or Chase would go 3 or 4. I'd probably actually take Chase third, believe it or not, over McCaffrey. I'm just worried about McCaffrey's health. If I were drafting, I personally would kind of pass on him. I know he's got a great situation. I'm just so worried about his health. Can Christian McCaffrey play a full football season? Probably not. Can he play 16 games? Probably. But it's even more likely that he plays 14. So Austin Eckler and Jefferson, if you're drafting top 2 in a PPR league, those would be the 2 guys I'd go with. Alex, you're saying you can get Austin Eckler at 6th? I think that just means that you have 5 people who are letting him drop. I don't think that means anything. I think when we talk about projections, we're talking about what an Excel spreadsheet model is telling you. That's only so much information. Last year, who was the number 1 running back expected to in terms of yards? It was Derrick Henry, right? Or it was Christian McCaffrey, right? Who ended up being number 1 in terms of total fantasy points? Josh Jacobs. Who had Josh Jacobs number 1 in their fantasy league last year? Raise your hand. Looking out there, don't see too many hands raised. You know what I mean? That's one of those things where just because we go into the season and we say, the guys, Mr. Fantasy, Mr. Roto is telling me to do something. Even me, I'm telling you guys, don't take the number 1 player overall. It's actually more often a trap than it is a surefire bet. Oh, if the first pick is Christian McCaffrey in a PPR, I take Justin Jefferson. The first pick in a PPR league should be Justin Jefferson. Then I would take Austin Eckler second. The real Caleb Bradley, perfect example. Josh Jacobs ended up being the number one running back in fantasy, ended up being the number one fantasy player overall, and you got him in the 3rd round. Right, Jorge, perfect example. Jonathan Taylor last year was number 1. Henry and Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey were, the consensus, top 3 picks. As it turns out, Jonathan Taylor had kind of a bust of a year, so you got to be really careful. Sometimes the guy who's projected to go 6, 7, 8 in a 1st round or later, they could end up being the number 1 player in the league that year. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. If you have any questions about sports betting, our picks today, our player prop bets, feel free to fire away. We're here to help you guys out. If you want all of our picks are for free up on our website, buttfumblesports.com. Hit the link in our bio, takes you right to our website, buttfumblesports.com. You can see all of our picks for today. They're all for free. You don't have to do anything. I'd like you to sign up for the newsletter. Why? Because I give out free picks in the newsletter. We started the newsletter back up. We give out our favorite game picks of the day, our favorite player prop bets of the day. We share the DFS lineup with you, so it's right in your inbox. Go sign up for the newsletter. It's free. I give you picks. I'm gonna start doing that almost every day. But for all of you guys, go look at the picks. They're free. Bijan Robinson at pick 5. Is that high in a half PPR? No. Believe it or not, it's not. He's maybe 5, I think maybe a touch too high, but I think he's going to go. The point is, I don't think you can wait on him. If you really want him, you should go and get him. What do we do? What do we got to do for a play of the day today? Okay, a play of the day. Play of the day. What are my favorite plays of the day? I really like the Reds covering today. I really like the Reds to cover. Candyman, good luck on the draft. If you need help, feel free to ask your questions. We're here for you, Candyman. I really like the over in the Phillies-Nationals game. Really like that one. I would also say I really like the Royals plus 2.5. I know it's a Jordan Lyles day, but I think the Royals are going to cover that plus 2.5. So Reds plus 1.5, Royals plus 2.5, Phillies Nationals over 7.5. Those are a couple of my favorite bets of the day. Candyman's doing it right. Let's go. Diego, no mock draft today. No mock draft today. So my computer internet for live TikTok live studio is being a bitch. Forgive my language, but is being a pooper. So I decided to come on just on our old school phone broadcast like we had last fall. Candyman, your pick 7. Let us know, Candyman, let us know who comes up in the draft, and we'll talk. Candyman, are you in a PPR? I don't remember if you shared that. Tito's Full Sends got Royals plus 1.5 too. I like it. I like the Royals to cover the spread today. Love it, everybody. Candyman, 12-man PPR. Oh, you're really well positioned. I love being 7 in a 12-man league. You're kind of always in a good pivot point. Tito's Full Send. I like the Reds to cover the plus 1.5 at minus 160. I think the money line is there, and I like that it's at plus money, but the plus 1.5 is the better play. Reem, Tigers on the money line, I'm not crazy about. I like the over in that game, but I'm not crazy about that one. I think it's probably more likely than not that the Tigers win. Eduardo Rodriguez on the mound, but I feel like it's closer to 50-50. I feel it's closer to a coin flip than good odds. Jeremy Todd, 66, what's up? Great to see you. Real Caleb, what's your opinion on Garrett Wilson finishing the year in a top 2 wide receiver? I think Garrett Wilson's going to have a phenomenal year. I don't think he's going to be the number 2 wide receiver in the NFL. Too many good secondaries, too many good corners in the AFC East. That's why. Where do we get our data from? We get our data from Outlier. It's a sports betting analysis tool. We use ballparkpal.com, which is great for weather, fantasy, and game simulation. I also personally look at the stats every day for every starting pitcher. So I go to ESPN.com, look at how each starting pitcher has done historically against the teams that he's facing. We also use covers.com. Covers.com does a really good job of bringing together trends. There's also a website called Team Rankings. Team Rankings allows you to look at trends across different scenarios. You know, how are they as a home underdog? For example, the Reds as a home underdog, really good at covering the spread this year. Reds, probably not surprising to you given that they've been an underdog so often. Panda with Wings, Sean O'Malley got that win last night. I was so pumped about that. Love Sean O'Malley. Obviously, surprised me a little bit, but guess who called it, though? Guess who said to put some money down on Sean O'Malley? Mr. Octagon. Reds first 5, half a run. Tito's full send, that's a really good point. Love that point. Okay, Candyman, it went Jefferson, CMC, Jamar, Chase, Kelsey, Austin Eckler, Candyman, Austin Eckler. I like Eckler because I have more confidence in him over the course of the season. Austin Eckler's the pick. I know people are going to say Bijan, but Candyman, Austin Eckler just fell to you. I love the pick. Whoever took Cooper Kupp in front of you did you a massive favor. Candyman, great first pick. Yeah, Deadpool, congratulations to Messi. Do they advance to a higher league? I think they're kind of stuck. Is there a higher league? I don't think so. I think for American soccer, that's all that we've got. But it was nice to see that it was nice to see them win the championship because I think Messi's experience here will only encourage more soccer players from Europe, more amazing players to come over to the United States, like Mbappe in future years. I could expect him coming over, again, once they've reached that point where maybe they're not competing in the same way overseas, but I think it will ultimately be good for the game of soccer in the United States. Tito's full send. Way to make some money on O'Malley. Sugar. Hope you guys have been enjoying the show today. I know it's not our normal setup, but let us know if you guys kind of like today. Certainly seem to get a lot of good viewership today on TikTok Live. Hope you guys have been enjoying it on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick as well. If you guys have any questions, never hesitate. We are here for you guys. But Fumble Sports is live. We're going to be live every weekday at 5 p.m. Every weekday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be live. And on the weekends, we're going to be live at 11 a.m. now. Now that we have college football, now that we have NFL, we are going to start being live at 11 a.m. Eastern on weekends, Saturday and Sunday. And on the weekdays, we're going to be live at 5. Live at 5. Law, I don't bet preseason football. That is the one thing I won't do. I've told you guys before. NBA Summer League, MLB Spring Training, NFL preseason. Coaches aren't playing necessarily to win. They're playing to get certain reps out of a position. They're playing to see who's going to win a position battle. It is so important that you guys don't put money on things that there's not good data behind. Again, when you go and play blackjack, do you just sit down at the table or do you actually watch a couple hands to see where in the shoe we are? Before I sit down at a blackjack table, I just watch it for a couple hands. See what's come up. See if I'm seeing a lot of face cards. See if I'm seeing a lot of low cards. Same thing can be said when it comes to sports betting. Why would I take something that has no trend behind it, no data behind it, is frankly a coin flip at every possible turn? How long the quarterback's going to be in, how long the offensive line's going to be in, are the referees actually going to call a tight game? All of those things. There's no data behind preseason football, so I'm holding on to my money. I'll bet MLB, I'll bet WNBA. I'm not touching preseason football, though. What are your thoughts on being third in a PPR league? I really like it. It just means that, again, Eckler, Christian McCaffrey, Justin Jefferson, or Jamar Chase, you're getting one of those 4 players. So you're in a good spot, Deadpool. Elliot Robinson, we pray that the referee is going to be better every year, but the truth of the matter is the referees are getting better. It's just our ability to see mistakes is also increasing. There was a time in this country where if a referee missed a call, really hard to call him out for it. Now, with super replay in the moment, like how fast that we can be made aware that a referee makes a mistake, tough. After Eckler, it went Diggs, Bijan. Gotcha. Again, you're in a half PPR, so we need to start looking for a wide receiver. I like the idea of getting a second running back, but I think it's early. You can maybe wait on Jahmyr Gibbs in rounds 3 or 4. It's a full PPR, so look for a wide receiver. We want a wide receiver. Candyman, we care about a wide receiver, so looking for the top wide receivers that are available on the board. That's where I would go. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. We have been live for exactly 1 hour. Hope you guys have been enjoying the show. By the way, the referees are paid, but not like where they should be. NFL referees are actually not paid full time, which is disappointing. If referees were paid full time and that was their full-time job, I'd feel differently. But did you know NFL referees actually have to have another job? Means they're much more susceptible to bribes, means they're much more susceptible to mistakes. I feel like if you're a referee at this point, if you're the billion-dollar organization that the NFL is, you should pay your team. Mahomes, Waddle. Candyman, it's Waddle. It's Waddle. Candyman, get Waddle. I can't say it any more ways than that. Get Waddle. You can get a quarterback in round 3 or 4. In rounds 3 or 4, I would look at Jahmyr Gibbs. I'd look at Travis Etienne. I'd get my second running back. Then Waddle, get Waddle. Candyman, get Waddle. Over Devontae Adams, Waddle. I don't trust Jimmy G. I don't trust the Raiders offense. I trust the Dolphins way more. I trust Waddle way more. I think Waddle could have a massive year. Could have a breakout year. In a full PPR, would I rather have Lockett or Godwin? I'd rather have Godwin, believe it or not, because I think Lockett is going to have his targets and receptions go way down with Jackson Smith and Jigba there. So I like Chris Godwin because no matter who's at quarterback, I'm assuming it's going to be Baker Mayfield, but the Bucs are going to need to get the ball into Godwin's hands and just things need to happen. So they'll be targeting him quite frequently. Think twice. Drafting Mark Sanchez this year, we'd call that a butt fumble of a mistake. Thoughts on Dalton Kincaid in the 3rd round? Way too early. Way too early. Even in a dynasty league, that's too early. Wow, that would be very, very early. I think there are other players that are probably available that can be more valuable this year. If you're looking long-term, maybe, but I feel differently about dynasty leagues. I really want to build my team for a championship this year. I'm not wasting a year of my life to go chase a championship in 2024. I'm not the Houston Texans. I'm not the Arizona Cardinals. I'm a real person. I want to win a championship. Do I feel like we're getting a Super Bowl rematch this year? No, I don't. No, I don't. I actually don't think the Chiefs are going to get back. I think the AFC is loaded. It is so brutal in the AFC. I don't think the Chiefs are going to get back there. I could see the Eagles getting back. I don't normally say that because it's so hard to lose and then get back to a Super Bowl, but I love that the roster that the Eagles have. I hate the roster right now for the Chiefs, believe it or not. I think they have a lot of question marks in a number of important places. Candyman, Gibbs went right in front of you. Is ETN still on the board? You might want to look at a quarterback then. You may want to go with Jalen Hurts. Jeremy Todd, 66. Make sure that you sign up for our newsletter. Go to our website, buttfumblesports.com, and we give out some of our favorite plays every day. Great for a 6-leg parlay. So make sure that you go check that out. You're giving a 6-leg future bets. Wow. Okay. I'll go super easy. Teams to make the playoffs. Eagles make the playoffs. I'm going to say the Cowboys make the playoffs. I'm going to say the Chiefs make the playoffs. I'm going to say the Bills make the playoffs. I'm going to say the Jaguars make the playoffs. And I will say the Chargers make the playoffs. So a 6-leg future parlay. Thoughts on Rachaad White? I like him, but it depends on the round. I would get ETN, Candyman. I would get ETN right now. Or Calvin Ridley. I really like Calvin Ridley as well, but probably ETN because I want the running back more and he gets receptions. So Candyman, I would go ETN. I know that means Ridley's going to be gone, but I'd probably draft a quarterback in the next round. So ETN in round 3. That way you have 2 running backs. I think running back is more valuable. It's easier to find wide receivers over the course of the year. I know there's some who debate me on that, but that's how I feel at least. So I would take ETN, and then I would go for I'd go for a quarterback in round 4, because unless there's a good wide receiver available. If the Eagles don't win a Super Bowl this year with that defense, need a coaching change, depends what the record is, depends how far they go. I'm not going to put anyone on the hot seat too fast. Oh, Eli, 49ers too. I forgot about that one. No, Eli, that's a good one too. Add the 49ers. Thanks for calling us trash. Yeah, Jeremy Todd, what can you do? What can you do? Haters gonna hate. Reem is asking about the Twins on the money line today. The answer is, it's not what I took. I actually took the Pirates plus 1.5. Hey, we're used to it. But Fumble Sports gets plenty of hate. When you're in the sports media business, it's what happens. By the way, I think the 49ers will make it. I actually think that the Seahawks might be the better bet. I think the Seahawks have a really good roster. I love the roster that they built out in Seattle. I think the 49ers have a really good team. My question is about Brock Purdy. Do I trust Brock Purdy? And no, I don't have a greater level of confidence now than I did a year ago. He still has a lot to prove to me. Man, I'm surprised that you say the 49ers are so weak. I think they've built a really good roster. I like what they've done. I think they've gotten a lot better on defense over the last few years. I think they've won a couple of the last couple of drafts. So I really like how they've turned Russell Wilson's trade into a lot of really good draft picks. They're going to have a really good secondary. So I got my eye on that. Brock Purdy looked good yesterday. Good. Happy to hear it. By the way, I hope he plays well. I'm certainly hoping for that. Chris, I agree with you. Just based on the preseason right now, DJ Moore looks phenomenal. I really like him. Candyman on the board. Burrow, Hawk, Fields, Kittle, Herbert. I might go Hawkinson. It would be Candyman. I'd probably take Joe Burrow. And then I'd take Hawkinson. I'm not as big on Fields as I am Burrow. I think Burrow could be the MVP. I think this is Joe Burrow's year. If he's healthy, I think this is Joe Burrow's year to be the MVP personally. Candyman, personally, I think, I take Hawkinson. If Burrow's out, I take Hawkinson. I think Hawkinson could actually end up being the number 1 tight end. I know Travis Kelce, but where am I taking Trevor Lawrence? Probably rounds 5 through 7. 5 through 7. Zoltan, hot take, saying the Cleveland Browns win the division. Interesting. Kind of like the take, Zoltan. We'll see. Burrow's out with a calf. He's not out with an ankle. Candyman, if you have Joe Burrow, I would take Joe Burrow. Otherwise, Hawkinson. If Joe Burrow's on the board, I take Burrow first. And then, if he's not available, I take Hawkinson. We are going to jump off in a little... Take him then. Candyman, go get him. We are going to finish up the show, in part because I've got my producer. I'm holding him up from his Sunday, and I don't want to do that. But I appreciate all of you guys joining us across all of our platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Kick. You guys are baseball. What we got for baseball, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Buttfumblesports.com. Go to our website. All of our picks are up there. Just hit the link in our bio. Go to buttfumblesports.com. You can see all of our picks for free. There isn't a paywall. We're not asking for any of your money. We're sports fans that do research to help you guys out. Go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. There's a link in our bio. You can see all of our picks for free up there. player props, first inning run plays, all of it. Love you guys so much, and I do not hesitate when I say that. I love the support you guys show us. You guys are amazing, asking your questions, being with us every day. Every weekday, we will be live at 5 p.m. We will be live at 5 p.m. Eastern every single weekday, live at 5. And then on the weekends, we're going to be live at 11 a.m. from now on. So 11 a.m. on the weekends, 5 live at 5 on the weekdays. Chris, really appreciate your support. As I say at the end of every show, guys, I hope you guys stay healthy. I hope you stay safe. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon and evening. Happy Sunday to you. Enjoy this beautiful day on this amazing planet. Enjoy sports today. I hope you cash a ton of tickets today. Oh, and of course, I hope you win your fantasy drafts. So, have a great day, everybody. We will see you at 5 p.m. tomorrow, Monday, August 21st at 5 p.m. Eastern, everybody.